Hello, YouTube. Today we are going over Hyp3B0t, our Hyperion flak. Now, the idea behind this is our good friend Witch sent us a rack pack that has shotgun damage, Hyperion weapon damage, and magazine size. So because we are sticking with Hyperion and shotgun, the Reflux and Convergence are going to be the two big guns for this build. And of course, if you wanted to use the Guardian Angel, you could as well. Now, of course, as always, I threw the EMP5 on here just for movement speed. So with the Reflux, I found that using that mainly for mobbing and using the Convergence for bossing was going to give us our best option. The Kill Stack Anoint was just the most consistent for the Reflux. And of course, because we're using Rack Pack, we're constantly using Rack Attack, which, because of how fast the cooldown is, we can really take advantage of action skill and elements, and using the matching element you want for the enemy that you're facing. So if you change out your Convergence to a fire, use the action skill and fire, etc., so that you can get the best matching damage bonus you can. The Revolter was a great pickup on here because of, again, how often you're using your rack attack. You can constantly have the Revolter active using the action skill start anoint. And the Fish Slap is mainly just on here for the action skill and radiation. You can use whatever grenade you would prefer. If you want to debuff with an It's Piss, if you want to run a Hunter Seeker, just because Flak and Hunter Seeker match well together. Rack Pack, it ended up coming with a 1-1-3 split. And the artifact, the most consistent I found was the Hyperion Company Man with mag size and the area of effect damage. For skill tree, we went 5 in Inheritary Stalker for the damage, 3 in Leave No Trace for the chance to add ammo back on critical hits, 2 in Second Intention for the reload speed, 5 in Hunter's Eye for the increase in damage depending on the enemy type, 3 in Head Count for the action skill cooldown, 3 in Big Game for the increase in our Hunter skill duration and effects, 3 in Most Dangerous Game for the increased gun damage, 1 in Galactic Shadow for the critical hit damage, and 1 in Megavore for the critical hit chance, and our 1 in Grim Harvest is coming from our class mod. 5 in Furious Attack for the increased gun damage, 5 in Eager to Impress for the increased cooldown, 1 in All My BFFs for the health regeneration, 1 in Overclocked for some reload speed and fire rate, 1 in Lick the Wounds so that anytime we are unable to kill an enemy while in Fight for Your Life, we do get a revive from Pet, 3 in Turn Tail and Run for the health regeneration, 2 in Fast and the Furious for the extra gun damage. Did not pick up anything in Purple Tree. If you wanted to pick up in Purple Tree, I would mainly advise Agility training. 3 in Persistence Hunter for the gun damage, 1 in Go for the Eyes for the pet critical hit damage, 1 in Ferocity for the pet damage, 1 in Who Rescued Who for the health regeneration, 3 in He Bites, mainly get down the tree, but it is nice to have that extra damage reflection on the pet, 5 in Frenzy for the extra gun damage, stacking up to 40% if we have max stacks, 1 in Psycho Head on a Stick for the extra pet damage and pet movement speed, 1 in Hive Mind so that we can share a little bit of damage with pet, 5 in Barbaric Yacht for the pet bonus, which is going to increase our passive elemental damage to 30%, which is really going to help out since we're using the Reflux and the Convergence, and they are elemental weapons, meaning we're just getting an extra 30% damage from those. 1 in Shared Spirit for the damage conversion. So basically anytime we are at low health, a portion of the damage we take is healing our pet, which is going to stack well with Lick the Wounds to make sure we're able to get a revive from pet. 3 Impact Tactics with our 3 from our comm, bringing pet and our damage up to 42% extra and 48% extra health. 1 in Dominance. It is nice to get the Dominance on an enemy. However, the big thing with this is because we're using the Reflux, it actually will count ourselves and give an extra tendril bouncing off of ourselves, just increasing the amount of hits that our Reflux will give. Now, as far as Rack Attack goes, I did find using Falconer's Feast for the lifesteal from racks, and flock and load for the additional 2 racks whenever we send forward a rack was the most consistent overall. As always with my builds, I like to point out that I do have all of the Guardian rank perks, meaning if you don't have Groundbreaker and you don't have Hollow Point, you are going to see a difference in your damage. There will be a little bit less damage, just because when those go off, there is a rather crazy amount of damage that they can do. Now with that, guys, let's get into the mobbing and bossing so that you can see what this build can do. We'll catch you on the other side. Alright guys, that has been the build showcase for Hyp3B0t. If you are on PC and would like to get your hands on this file, you can find a link to the Discord down below where there will be a save file section that you can download the save file. If you have any questions or have any build ideas that you'd like to see before Wonderlands comes out, let me know down in the comments down below. Be happy to take a look. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. It really helps out move the algorithm forward and helps us bring more content to you guys. With that, guys, I've been your local sassy SwinLaw. Stay classy, Pandora.